2013, already a game with a contender. Hell fucking yes. Cry. So Devil May Cry is a reboot of the popular action-defining game franchise Devil May Cry, which I love. I love Devil May Cry 1, I love Devil May Cry, well, I kinda like Devil May Cry 2, I fucking love Devil May Cry 3, I love Devil May Cry 4, and DmC, well, let's go see how this one does. Let's start off with the story. The story in DmC is a lot more personal and takes a lot more time to get to the point than the original Devil May Cry games, and it's far less cheesy than the original DmC games. So it goes to a new direction and at the same time having the DmC feel to it, which is great. The story in DmC is really good. It follows the path of Dante and Virgil. They're trying to hunt down, take revenge, and there's this girl, I forgot her name, who Dante is sort of building a small love interest for. It does not feel forced. It feels just right. It fits the tone very well. It fits the tone of the story very well. The story may not be the best if you look at other video game stories we have lately like Mass Effect, Metal Gear, but in terms of the action game genre, this is probably one of the best. Gameplay. The gameplay in Devil May Cry is just as good as it ever was, but they made it simpler. There was one thing I didn't like about the old Devil May Cry games, particularly 3 and 4, is that they had the gunslinger, the swords master, and those things. You know what I'm talking about. When we had to choose the style you want, I didn't like it that much. It gave me less freedom to do what I wanted. They fixed this in DmC, but at the same time they made the gameplay a lot more simpler and a lot harder to master. By putting that, there are a lot of combos, but then they're all very easily executable, and you have to really think of creative ways you can use these combos, which is very cool. And plus now you have different weapon selections. Now you have like two of each type. You have 2 angelic weapons, 2 demonic weapons, and that's cool. Angelic weapons are sort of fast, but they're really weak. They're really good for taking out a lot of dudes. Just keeping control of the crowd around you. Like if there are a lot of weak enemies, just keep control of them. And then demonic ones are really good against fighting, one-on-one, or there's little enemies. And there's one thing I did not like about the gameplay though. There are these enemies that are sort of color-coded. Like you have to use a demonic weapon to kill them. You have to use an angelic weapon to kill them. I found them rather annoying and gave me less what do you call that? Less freedom to do what I wanted. It gave the game less freedom, which I didn't like. So that's about it for gameplay. Graphics. The graphics in DmC are beautiful. It's a beautiful game. Yes, our hardware is getting really dated now. PS3, 360, they're long gone. And by the way, I got this game on the 360, just saying. They're dated hardware. It is just dated. It's dated hardware already, and it still looks great, which is good. So that's about it for the graphics. And I'm just gonna say it looks beautiful. It's a beautiful game. It's a beautiful looking game. You should definitely check out. Just look at the gameplay on YouTube. You'll see some beautiful graphics. They're really beautiful. Now, the sound. In voice acting perspective, the voice acting in Devil May Cry is awesome. It is the best the series has ever gone besides Dante. Let's start off with Virgil. He has amazing voice acting. Everyone brings their A game except Dante. Now here's the reason why. I prefer Dante's voice in the original, in Devil May Cry 4. If they just put that voice in Devil May Cry, it would have been great. Because in 1, 2, and 3 he was sort of young. In 4 he was very wise, which I liked it. And it could have fit well with this game, but it didn't. His voice now sort of fits well, but I'm just saying his voice in the 4th one fit well. And let me just say this: if you look at the looks of Dante himself, I can't imagine the old Dante playing in DmC now because it just looked weird. The new look fits really well with the tone that the game sets. So that is. And everyone, it's great voice acting. Now the music. The music in DmC, just the music alone is really good. It has a combination of dubstep and metal, which is classic Devil May Cry. Here's the problem. This is not classic Devil May Cry. This is a new tone, a new story, and the music doesn't fit it very well. They could have got something else that feels more dramatic, but that would have fit the story a lot more. But the music in this game does not fit the tone that the story sets, which is a big problem to me because it makes the music seem random. It doesn't fit at all. that music could have fit in 1, 2, 3, and 4, but in DMC it doesn't. I'm sorry. Now, the bad. Unfortunately, there are some bad in Devil May Cry, sadly. Now, one thing, yes, as you said, I'm fine with Dante's look, but Virgil's look I am not cool with. The look that he had in Devil May Cry 3 could have fit perfectly in DMC, but the look they gave him fits okay, but again, the look in DMC 3 would have fit a lot better. And I didn't like the new look. He looks classy and all, but he just doesn't have that style that Virgil from Devil May Cry 3 had, which I missed. I missed a lot of. And once again, the music doesn't fit the tone at all. It's very off. And I run occasional glitches and stuff where I had to reset the game, but I'm not sure if that happened to you guys. Maybe just me, who knows. Yeah, so that's about it for the bad. Overall, I love DMC. I'm a huge fan of the Devil May Cry franchise. The Devil May Cry 3, as you said, is my 5th favorite game from last generation. It's my 3rd favorite PS2 game, and I love DMC. It's a Game of the Year contender in my book, and overall with this game, I also decided 9 or 9.5. You know what? Fuck it. It's a 9.5 out of 10. DMC is a 9.5 out of fucking 10. See you guys later.